It's Christmas Eve as I'm recording this video, and I'm going to start masking this thing off to spray paint the windows matte black. And also, my father told me I should actually build something else for this thing, and that is the cuck truck trailer. Now, it's not going. Now, theoretically, this shouldn't be too hard to build. I'd like to have at least one more picture to work with, but I should be able to theoretically build a semi-accurate representation of the cuck truck trailer and hopefully have it about to scale for this one. Granted, this cuck truck trailer will be raised off the ground significantly because, again, I'm using that rock crawler chassis and that thing's pretty high off the ground, so height-wise it won't be correct as if I actually go for this. But for right now, I just want to get the rest of this cuck truck put together. And the one other thing I need to do is I need to make sure to remember to actually mask off the back end here too, so I can spray paint matte black, because I don't know if you can see it or not, there is a little bit of a black line where the tail lights meet up and whatnot. So I gotta also mask this area off for that. So I'll come back when I get all this masked up. Alright, I got the thing all masked up and ready to go for spray painting. One thing's for certain, me adding the gosh dang, can't remember what they're called. Me adding the fenders on the first body was a dumb move, because not having the fenders on the body right away makes it so much more easier to mask everything. But as you can tell, I got everything masked off in the way I need it. So all I gotta do now is I need to make sure the shed's at least 50 degrees or so I can go out there and spray paint. For those that don't know about spray paint, you need a bare minimum of 50 degrees to spray paint, so the spray paint can at least adhere properly. Anything lower, you can have problems. And unfortunately, it's winter time, so that's kind of hard to happen. But then again, I do have a nice little shed I can spray paint in, so I will come back when I see fit. Well, at least it's a nice temperature outside for spray painting. Granted, it's just a bit windy. So I have it out here drying. It's going to be sitting out here for about 15 minutes or so per layer, and then I'll be going into the shed to spray paint the next layer of black. And luckily it's around the temperature I need to properly spray paint the shed. So like I said, I'll leave it out there in the sun for about 15 minutes or so, and then come back and do another layer of black. I'm going to do at least 3 layers to make sure it doesn't run. Alright, got the last layer on. All I gotta do now is wait for it to fully dry. I think I'm going to leave it out here in the sun for about 1 to 2 hours, and then I'm going to bring it in and remove all the masking and see how the paint came out. So the black spray paint's at a point to where I was able to unmask it and whatnot. And there is imperfections, a lot less than I initially anticipated, but they're there. Unfortunately, there's really nothing I can do about it. But even with the imperfections, this body came out really, really nice. The only one thing you can absolutely see for certain, especially on the front and back right here, is a little line that is made by the masking tape picking up some of the silver. Now, normally what I'll do next is I'll take a tissue paper and I'll just try and blend it. But of course I did that too on the original body, and that's how I messed up the black spray paint, because I didn't let the black spray paint fully dry before I decided to try and blend the two contrasting layers right here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let the spray paint fully dry on the top here. So that's going to be at least like a day or so wait, which really sucks. I'll come back. I'll do one more thing, and I'll actually show what this body looks like on the rock crawler chassis, and then in this part here, and then in that part there, because again, it's going to be like at least a day or two wait before I can actually get on with this build. Now, of course, I don't have the fenders on or the bumpers on, but here's what here's what it'll look like with the chassis on it and whatnot. It doesn't look half bad. Now, like I said, I'm building this more for the meme. Granted, by the time this meme truck gets put into use, the Cybertruck meme will be long since dead. But at least I won't be a corporation that uses a dead meme. I'm just going to be a freaking 30-something-year-old at that point using a dead meme. But at the very end, at least now I have something stupid to tow my life size Congo around at my local anime convention of June of next year. So the real hard part will be making sure this body doesn't get destroyed by that time. But with that said, I'll end this video here because again, it's going to be at least a day or two before I can continue on with this body and actually get more or less completed. I actually decided to see if I can put all the other trimmings on the truck, and as you can tell, I did. I don't see any problems with how it came out. Everything came out relatively fine. Having the fins, or not fins, but the gosh, I keep forgetting what these are called, but what are they called? Having them matte black like they need to be actually does help with the look. And of course, I got both front and back bumpers on, and they're called fenders. Good grief. So yeah, everything's more or less put together. The reason why I have this here is so I can help the paper relax, so it can actually keep the proper width for the hole for the LEDs. Since I did mess around for quite a bit and I did put some pressure on here, so this will help reinforce the pressure, the thickness that needs to be there for the LEDs. And after Christmas, sometime probably after New Year's, I'll actually get some LEDs for this thing and get all the LEDs properly set up for this thing. So I guess now I will finish the video here and whatnot, because it's probably going to be at least a week or two before I actually upload anything new for this thing.